The Prime Minister's Look South policy and the BJP's focus on the south of India, because in 2019, viewers, they had maximized the north of India or the Hindi heartland. If they need to make gains, if they need to come up with what they've promised as a 55% vote share, a lot of that needs to also be leveraged from the south of the Vindhyas. Until now, the south of the Vindhyas has been a battle which has been challenging for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Primarily, the last time around, only 29 seats of the mammoth 303 target of the BJP came in from the south of India. This time, the BJP would hope to take that mark up. Will they be able to? The questions we are posing in this debate. Will the Modi factor work in the south of India? And till now, why is a state like Tamil Nadu or a state like Kerala, where the Prime Minister has been today, been cold to the Bharatiya Janata Party? Can the BJP break ground in the south of India, and how real is the north-south divide? Let's take these questions to our panelists this evening. Joining me, Shekhar Iyer, senior journalist, Sumant C. Raman, political analyst, Prashant GS, spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party, Bhavya Narsimhapurthy, national spokesperson, Congress. Before we cut across to our political analysts, I want to go to the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson. Prashant GS, the fact is, one thing I would reckon you'll admit, that till now, the battle south of the Vindhyas has been rather difficult for the Bharatiya Janata Party. A quick look at your track record. Let's say, you know, there are 130 seats in the 5 big states of the south. You've only had 29 of those in the last elections. You've maximized the north where the Hindi heartland is concerned. The gains will have to come from the south. Is that possible this time around?
Preeti, firstly, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. Remember, we had 2 seats in the Lok Sabha in 1984. From 2 seats in 1984 Lok Sabha to 303 on our own, without the allies count being taken into account in 2019, it's a giant leap. Therefore, if you're saying that we are having about 30 seats out of 130 in the south of Vindhyas, as you put it across, definitely we are making strong inroads. We have consistently increased our vote share in the south, and Karnataka has been one of the states where we have consistently made very good progress, because even when Congress had formed governments, state governments here, we have consistently got more seats. Even in the 2019 Lok Sabha, in the 2018 Vidhan Sabha in Karnataka, Congress and JDS had then formed the government. Even then, we had 25 seats on our own, and 1 seat was by the independent. So, looking at the vote share, you look at Tamil Nadu also, you look at Telangana, we won 4 seats last time. We are making inroads, and we have consistently increased our vote share, which means the people who are believing in the ideology of Bharatiya Janata Party and the leadership of Narendra Modi ji is increasing by the day. So therefore, as we draw closer to the election date, and when
but Prashant GS, you speak of the ideology of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and till now, at least, the South has been averse to that ideology of oneness. You know, the southern states steeped in regional pride, linguistic pride, the whole oneness of it all, which is the core ideology of the BJP, and the RSS hasn't been able to cut it in the south of India. But we're going to come to that in a short while. But I want to bring in the Congress spokesperson as well. You know, Bhavya, let's look at the seat share. 29 of the 303 for the BJP, that comes down to about 9.6%. Congress, 28 of its 52 seats a mammoth share, came in from the south, which is a massive 53.8%. But there's a point that the BJP spokesperson is making. Look, right from the beginning till now, the south was your bastion at one point of time. Your vote share, your seat share is constantly decreasing, while the BJP's is constantly increasing on the rise.
You know, every political party goes through a phase and ups and downs. But what's happening with BJP is not the same. They're not able to. Yes, last time in Karnataka they got many seats during this MP elections, but that won't be the case even this time. Whether it is Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, or Kerala, for that matter, we are very sure BJP is not going to win many seats. Why? People of Karnataka have already given their mandate during assembly elections, reducing them to mere 60 plus seats. One. And we have seen the victory in Telangana. Coming to Tamil Nadu and Kerala, you know, the governor the BJP has appointed They are actually not letting the governments there in Tamil Nadu work, and the people are seeing this. They're not approving any of their bills. If that is on one part, BJP has realized that their hate politics or divisive politics will not play or turn into votes in South India. Because even when Mr. Modi came to Karnataka and literally went to every nook and corner of Karnataka and every road in Bangalore to campaign, we saw the results. And in Tamil Nadu, the AIADMK, their own alliance partner, refused to put Mr. Modi's photo on their posters previously. We have seen all of this. And it's not just that. Let's come back to infrastructure. This time, Narendra Modi has visited Tamil Nadu to actually, inaugurate a lot of infrastructural projects. But I would like to give you 3 facts about BJP and their investment in infrastructure.
Okay.
Almost, the value of new infrastructure projects by the government has declined by 81% compared to previous year. This year, it has declined by 81%. And 837 infrastructural projects have been delayed for more than 3 years across India. And then value of new infrastructure project by private sector has declined by 78% compared to previous year. When this is the case, if Mr. Modi has visited Tamil Nadu to invest in Tamil Nadu's infrastructure, that shows their desperation.
No, Preeti, may I
They
step in?
know their hate
I'll come back to you,
politics
sir. Just 1 minute. Let me
not
bring in our
gonna
other.
work in South.
Okay.
They know
But that
their-
still doesn't explain. Bhavya, you've gone into detail, but that still doesn't explain the rising vote share of the BJP in the South. Yes, they haven't been able to convert it in seats, but there is a sizable and a consistent rise in that. I just want to bring in Shekhar Iyer and our other panelists as well into this conversation. Shekhar Iyer, you were with us yesterday. For now, welfareism plus Hindutva is a language that has huge traction for the BJP in the north of the Vindhyas. It doesn't quite in the south. Do you think the BJP would be able to get that narrative right? Because the Prime Minister understands that. The Prime Minister will go to Tamil Nadu, speak of linguistic pride, speak in English. When he goes to Kerala, he will not talk about the mandir or the temple, but he will talk about Modi's guarantee women. So he's seeming to get the language right, but the cadre and the other BJP leaders, do you see that changing?
Preeti, the BJP has been making consistent efforts, no doubt about it. But is the result proportionate to the efforts? Well, it is taking time. Say for a state like Kerala, we saw the roadshow in Thrissur. By BJP standard, it's quite an impressive crowd. The fact that they could mobilize so many women as well as a lot of people on the road, that shows that we have seen in the 2014 elections, 2019 elections, where the NDA share went up. For instance, in 2014, they had about 10.85% BJP and its allies. In 2019 elections, parliamentary elections became 15%. Of course, by the time assembly elections were held in Kerala, it came down to 12.41%. So what is happening is, if the BJP's vote share has to go up, we have seen that it happens when the UDF vote share comes down. So say in a state like Kerala, BJP is looking at a situation where if the Congress is not able to withstand the might of the left under Pinarayi Vijayan, then those votes which are anti-left, BJP should gain from it. That is why you are seeing and there are about at least 4 or 5 constituencies, Lok Sabha constituencies in Kerala where BJP is concentrating this time. And also a constituency like Thrissur, which has a huge Christian population. And, recently some of the church leaders from Thrissur had met the Prime Minister in Delhi. So one can see that even for church leaders who are looking for a voice or a party that can oppose left, they look at BJP. Even though there are concerns.
But Shekhar Iyer, will it happen? Because you speak of Kerala, the upper caste, the IRs plus the OBC was the factor that the BJP banked on in 2019. You and I both know better that didn't work. They've now tried to change the combination where the upper caste plus the Christians. Do you see it working this time, or do you see it's a work in progress? Maybe not 2019, but in eventuality it might figure.
Definitely, because you see, it is incrementally going up. But can it be converted into seats? That's a question. But one thing we must remember, Preeti, in Kerala, the left was always known as a pro-Hindu party. The UDF was known as the Christian and Muslim party because of IUML and Congress having a lot of support among the Christian community, both Congress as well as Kerala Congress. But post-Sabrimala episode, what has happened is Pinarayi Vijayan is also steadily cultivating the Muslim votes. And Sabarimala has been a turning point because if you remember the Sabarimala episode, soon after the Supreme Court first verdict, when Pinarayi allowed some of the NGOs to go in as devotees, it sparked a reaction and it had an impact in the Lok Sabha elections when the UDF swept the polls because the traditional LDF votes went
Fair
against
enough.
it.
Will the BJP able to...
That changed when Pinarayi effected correction before the assembly elections of 2021.
But will the BJP be able to change it? That's the big question, because the BJP has a small upper caste, which is about 22 to 23%. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Rayar, because the OBC traditionally is still going with the left is concerned. And that's the other chunk which the BJP had hoped to get in 2019 and they didn't. But I'm going to come right back to you, Mr. Rayar. Suman C. Raman, I want to bring you into this conversation. What's going wrong? Because if you look at it in terms of the narrative, there's a clear attempt that the BJP wants to set that narrative where it can actually politically leverage the south of India. You know, the recent episode of the Sengol in Parliament now, the Murthy from Karnataka is going to find the pride of place in the Ram temple in Ayodhya. So the Prime Minister will go speak about regional pride in Tamil Nadu, will not talk about Hindi imposition, make it clear. On the other hand, in Kerala, not talk about the temple, but talk about local issues, women. So the language is, seemingly right where the Prime Minister is setting it. But do you see it following through in terms of vote?
Preeti, I think that the BJP has missed several tricks in the south. They've done well in Karnataka, obviously, but Karnataka does have a significant constituency for Hindutva, particularly coastal Karnataka. Now they pan across the state, there is a significant constituency. The other states of the south, particularly Tamil Nadu and Kerala, the Hindutva constituency is very, very, very small. So that explains why the BJP has simply not been able to push forward. Now, the way around this would have been to have had a charismatic leader in some of these states. So, for instance, had they succeeded maybe 8-9 years ago in wooing Mr. Rajinikanth and getting him to, sort of hem the party in the state and so on, who knows what might have happened. So, in Tamil Nadu, by and large, people vote for charismatic leaders until the demise of Ms. Jayalalitha and Mr. Karnataka. That is how it has been for the last 40 years, 50 years. So now is when there is a vacuum, and there was a great opportunity for the BJP to fill it. I think they've made several political mistakes, and breaking this alliance with the AIADMK was, in my opinion, it was a blunder. Today, with so much of anti-incumbency against the DMK government, easily an alliance of the AIADMK and the BJP could have clearly had an impact in the Lok Sabha elections.
Mrs. Suman C. Raman, why do you think that's still not on the cards before 2024?
That's not on the cards because the AIADMK has very clearly said that they cannot, and it's suicide for them if they were to get back into an alliance. Mind you, they were driven out of the alliance by the state president of the BJP. So by systematically insulting the leaders of the AIADMK like Ms. Jayalalitha, earlier Mr. Annadurai and so on, literally the AIADMK, which had committed itself publicly, saying the leader actually said in public, 2024, we are going to the Lok Sabha elections with the BJP. I mean, how many allies of the BJP actually committed themselves a year ahead of the elections? And
they've taken that gamble. Will it work is the big question. They have somebody like an Anna Malai there. But Prashant GS, from the BJP, I want you back into this conversation because there's a point that Mr. Suman Raman is making. The sheer fact that the Prime Minister can be on the ticket in the Hindi heartland and win those elections, which he has successfully, but that doesn't translate into the same when he goes to the south because the regional satraps are so strong, the regional leaders are so strong, and the BJP, at least till now, hasn't been able to cultivate a regional strong leadership.
Preeti, exactly. See, I do agree that we might not have been able to match the leadership quality what the other parties had, say down south, more so in Tamil Nadu and Kerala. But now considering the turn of events, how it unfolded over the last 4 or 5 years after Jayalalitha's demise, and now with the youth back in focus, and we are seeing how people are rallying behind Annamalai in his rallies, and with the corruption being at the peak in Tamil Nadu under Stalin's government, and he and his son openly abusing Hindus and Hindu culture and Hindu practices, people are rising because Tamil Nadu, after all, is the, we can say without hesitation, is the cultural capital of the country, wherein so much culture and heritage comes from, for the entire India. We can say that a lot of culture and heritage is from Tamil Nadu. And there, if you are insulting the very practices, people are taking note of it. It's not that people generally voted for one
Bhavya, I'm
party or
going
the
to come
other.
to you, but allow me
People
to
are
bring in
taking
Mr.
note of it.
Iyer back into this conversation. Mr. Iyer, do you concur? Because the BJP High Command took a gamble by betting on Mr. Annamalai and breaking the AIDMK alliance. Do you see that paying off, or is it only, the fancy of, like a lot of regional journalists tell us, that it's more Annamalai is a hit where Delhi is concerned, but back home there's not much happening?
Preeti, as far as chronology of events are concerned, it is not BJP which broke the alliance. It is ADMK which broke the alliance. And the reason was, Edapadi felt that with BJP's company, they don't get additional votes. Rather, they lose minority votes, particularly in the southern districts. So that was a very conscious decision. And Annamalai was a good ruse. Because after having broken the alliance, now Edapadi is not made any headway. When it comes to opposition in Tamil Nadu, the focus is still on Annamalai. Where is Edapadi and where is AIDMK? And there is so much of confusion because when you go to the Lok Sabha elections, and the DMK is going to go for the campaign against Modi. Now, ADMK, can they join that alliance with which DMK is there? Or can they join the alliance with the Congress? That is also not possible. So now for ADMK, to oppose, and you must remember one thing. Even though Edapadi broke the alliance, he has not come out strongly against Prime Minister Modi or the BJP. Even in the latest statement he made, he only made a general remark that center has been showing stepmotherly treatment toward Tamil Nadu, whether it is Congress or BJP, without directly saying, not echoing what the DMK says. So one can see the confusion even in ADMK. Now, the mandate given to Annamalai from the Prime Minister was that the BJP must work for a mass contact with the people. Because unless BJP emerges strong organizationally, even for a future alliance is not possible. Otherwise, their status would be reduced to that of Congress, which is entirely dependent on DMK's mercy. Because Congress has not done any organizational activity.
As I bring in Bhavya, you don't concur with Mr. Suman, Mr. Iyer, that the AIDMK alliance, even if it's a post-poll alliance, is not on the cards?
Well, I don't think, because Edapadi would like to see, without the BJP, whether he can get back the minority votes which used to come during the Jayalalitha's period. So that has to first be seen, If it doesn't come, then he doesn't have much of an option, because otherwise, what does he do in Tamil Nadu without being aligned to any central party? See, Dravidian parties require as much a national party as an anchor.
Right. Mr. Raman, you disagree on that? You're raising your finger. I'll come to you, Bhavya. Give me 1 minute. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, two very quick points. One is I'm really curious to know which world Mr. Shekhar Iyer is inhabiting as far as Tamil Nadu politics is concerned. I think this is the view from Delhi, which has been fed very nicely to the BJP High Command, that the BJP is, attracting, the rallies are massive crowds. And, if there was a contest on social media, I hand it to Mr. Iyer. If the election was held purely on social media, I think Mr. Annamalai will be able to make a very significant impact in the state. At the EVMs, I'm not too sure about that. The second point is, nothing today in Tamil Nadu politics is ruled out.
Okay.
Look, let's be very clear. A Congress AIA-DMK alliance is certainly not something that is ruled out in the future. Yes, for 2024, it may be a little too late because of the India alliance and the DMK being a very important part of it. But the manner in which the DMK has gone about embarrassing the Congress time after time after time, there is, by the way, there is one of the senior AIDMK leaders was asked, are your doors open for an alliance with the Congress? And he said,
all right, quickly, 30 seconds each. Bhavya, you wanted to come in. Go ahead.
When the BJP spokesperson spoke about the regional party leaders and how dominating they are, and as if they do not have the regional leaders, I think Yadurappa, BJP High Command is so insecure about regional strong leaders that they usually cut them down. Take, for example, Telangana or Karnataka.
See, Yadurappa,
I'll come to you, sir. I'll come to you. Let her finish. Let her finish.
She can't make wrong facts.
I'll come to you, sir.
Can I please finish?
Let her finish. I'll come to you.
Right on facts.
Sir, I'll come to you. Correct her on your time. Go ahead. Make your point.
Yeah. So, yeah, they usually are so insecure of their regional leaders, like I said,
Okay.
that they cut them off. And that plays a very important role, whether it is Congress party or DMK or AIADMK, let me bring it
Okay, Prashant GS, please respond. That's okay. Prashant GS, you wanted to come and respond.
Yes. See, for both the states, insofar as Yediyurappa was concerned in Karnataka, he moved out to a larger position as a parliamentary board member, and he's been continuing. Even now, he will be on the ground campaigning. And insofar as Telangana was concerned, there was no ill will among any leaders. The term had come to an end, and one leader was replaced by another. Why do you have to look at it as BJP changing somebody who was strong enough? No. Congress, on the other hand, does not even have 200 seats across India to contest.